Hey, what is up, everybody? It's Animac here for Anime Uproar. Welcome to another episode of Rant, Café, everybody. And this is a special one. We will be talking about how to be an anime fan, how not to be an anime fan. And we got a little bit of a reunion going on with some of the earliest members of Rant Café, and also Nux. He's the Shippuden, Rant Café Shippuden guy, so he's here as well. But we got Black Critic guy Tony.
Hello, God, it's been forever. Sorry I can't show you my lovely face. It's 8:07 in the morning in Guam, and I'm trying not to be heard by my coworkers. But, I couldn't say no to this lovely reunion. I am a bit sad that my husbando is not here today, but I'll take a consolation prize with, Animac and Cyanide Blizzard. I could do without the love of the Simply Rose, though, but I'll take it.
Good one, Tony. Tony's talking about Macleod, who unfortunately has to work. But work didn't stop Tony because Rant Cafe comes first, even if you could get fired. That's kind of been a thing that we do.
That's the first way
or get kicked out of school, like Briggs from All the Anime, who is also here. What's up, Briggs?
Hey, what's up, guys? Good to be back.
And we have Simply Rose. Rose.
Hello, I'm so happy to join, even though I might be a little dead, but I'm so happy for this reunion.
Great to see you, Rose. We see your blue icon, your generic blue icon, but we can hear your face. We can
You can hear my face?
There it is. There's your face.
The best
Great
line
to
ever.
see your face, Rose. Great to have you with us. And Cyanide Blizzard is in the building as well.
Thank you very much, Animac. It's good to be here.
He's a bit shy now. He hasn't been on Rank Cafe for a while, but we love him. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, Nux to the Taku.
Hello. Never been called that before. It
Yeah,
won't
that's
stick,
fine.
hopefully.
I don't have a script. I'm just bullshitting. That's what we do. By the
Yeah,
way,
I know.
I thought this would be a great group to discuss, anime fandom, how to be an anime fan, and how it looks around the world, because we're a pretty international group. So I'm originally from Serbia, living in Canada. Noxtaku is from Montreal, but he has family in like New York City and stuff. He's been everywhere. Rose is from Canada, but she's currently living in Korea, South Korea, not North Korea. They're not good with the internet in North Korea, but South Korea. Tony lived in Florida. Now he's in the Pacific Islands in a place called Guam.
Correct.
And Briggs, his background is Italian. So
Yeah.
that's something. That's cool. But yeah, so I think this will be a really great group to chill with. And by the way, I will be in the voice chat on Discord after Rant Cafe. If you want to join us, link to the Discord is in the description, and everyone else is welcome to join as well, just to kind of chill and do that after dark stuff that we can't do live on YouTube anymore. But guys, who would like to kind of start off with? By the way, Rose, I'm going to get longer hair than you soon with your cutting your hair stuff.
Noticed. It's beautiful. I'm really jealous now.
Yes, I am going full weeb, just like the samurai shit,
No, going full weeb is making a top 10 list about your favorite waifus. That's going full weeb.
That's totally not in the works or anything, guys.
Well, that must be done.
Well, I would like to start, if you don't mind, how not to be an anime fan, because we have Recon in the chat, and how not to be an anime fan. Don't be like Recon at all.
What's wrong with Recon?
Well, you see,
Everything.
yeah,
love
pretty
you.
much.
No, go hard. Go ahead, Nux.
Well, I don't think there's much else to be said. We have so many hours of Rant Cafe with Recon on it. Testament to what I'm talking about.
So do you mean
There
that
is
High
only
School
one
DxD and
but
Sword Art
we are
Online are the
Recon.
best two anime in the world?
You're allowed to like Sword Art Online. You're allowed to like Fairy Tail, I guess. But making fun of other anime if you haven't seen them just because you haven't seen them is kind of red flaggish.
Yep.
I mean, we totally haven't done that with Yuri on Ice 80 million times.
I've seen Yuri on Ice, so I have the right.
I have not.
You have the right?
But yeah, so I'm wondering, like, in terms of like conventions, if you've seen in other countries and in North America and stuff, what are some things that you really like about being an anime fan? What are some things that can be awkward when you're an anime fan? Like your parents walking in just at the right time while you're watching Keijo, something like that. or Friends or whatever.
You wish it
what are
was
some things
K-Joe.
that you see other anime fans like, body pillow stuff like in public, and you're like, oh Jesus, no, this is why people hate us. Like stuff like that is what I'm thinking we can talk about in this stream.
Did I ever tell you guys the story of the Afro Samurai sex scene?
No.
Drop it.
So I was in the 8th grade, right? And I came home and I was like, you know what? I feel like watching Afro Samurai again. So I get to episode, I think, 2. Episode 2 is the scene where he hangs out with the girl. And it gets to that really sensual sex scene. You hear the R&B music in the background. And all of a sudden I hear the door twiddle. And then my mom comes through the door. And keep in mind, I'm in the living room in my underwear. Noon, in plain view of everything, and she walks through the door as she is moaning. By the way, too, she picked the perfect time.
Great.
And I'm just like, God, this could not have ended worse for me.
I'm at that age, Mom.
Mom, I have hormones.
I
like anime.
I handled it like a G. I didn't even make eye contact. I just stared at the screen until she walked away.
Oh, that's great.
You were just like, we both know what this is.
Let's not pretend, Mom.
No, that's a fun story. And I've had some. What was it? Oh my God. Like I purposely did not even try watching Devilman Crybaby in front of my parents. Like I was like, if they're ever anywhere in the area, I was like, I'm not watching. But there were some where like I would be watching something, and my dad just walks in and he sits down and he's just like, kind of like, this is what you do all day, kind of face. And it's like some ecchi show or something like, Hajimete no Gal, and I'm just like, like I don't want to like stop it and admit defeat, but I'm kind of like,
So I'm
Yeah, we
convinced
know.
There's
We
some
know.
cosmic rule that parents will walk in at the most inopportune time or during specific shows. Like there's shows out there where you're like, okay, I could totally introduce this to someone who isn't familiar with the medium, or if I wanted to bring someone into it or show them, what I work with. And then there are things where you're like, boy, I really hope that they're really open or they're familiar with this because
Yeah.
those shows.
I was watching Naruto right when I was getting into anime, and every sexy jutsu is when my parents would walk into the room, like, without fail. It was every single time. And then I would say, "That's interesting, Buzz Lightyear over there." No, that's
like
not
looking, and you're just like, yes, now it's time to come in.
They have like a sensor. It's like, my son or daughter is watching something sexy. I must make it awkward. They run through the door. Hey, son.
It's also gotten sad. I've become like so desensitized to it that like I try to show my friends or like certain people in my life, and like they're not freaking out, but their reaction to it is like hilarious, and like I didn't even think that. Like, I've become so desensitized to it. Like it's normal for me.
What do you mean it's weird that she knocked him out with
Tentacle.
like? That just happens, man. That's life. You fight, you get boob in the face, you're done. That's how it is. That's real life. But
let's hear Rose tell some awkward stories about her family walking in. Rose, you got anything for us?
I have so many awkward stories. All the hentai, all the ecchi anime that I watch. Yeah. No, actually, one time my dad was setting up I can't remember what anime it was, but my dad was setting up my DVD player because apparently I don't know how to use the DVD player. And I was playing some anime on it, and like the first thing it was a super ecchi scene, and I was like, "Sick, Dad! This is what I watch."
what was his response? Was it like nice, or was it like, oh no?
He was like, okay, I'll just go. And I was like, okay, bye.
Was
Thank
it
you,
girl stuff or guy stuff, edgy?
It was girl stuff. So he was like,
It's like,
okay,
Rose,
I'll leave you.
You really enjoy massive cartoon breasts.
Look, just don't tell them the plot, because as awkward as the scenes they walk in, the plot is sometimes way worse.
It's like, don't worry, Dad, they're brother and sister. Don't worry.
It has the ability to slay demons by turning on women.
What are you talking about? The plot is the boobs. Like that's all the plot I need.
Yeah, man, that's real. That's real. By the way, Lightning Darkness in the chat wants me to notice him. Also, Sharma in the chat says, how not to be an anime fan. Do not like Hajimete no Gal. Yeah. Hajimete no Gal with the fat guy. I feel like that fat guy is like the epitome of what people like associate with anime fans, like in the worst possible way. Like people like that should not exist. Period.
Okay.
So that character
Well,
completely
I think that was a bit redundant. Like Hajimete no Gal, that sort of falls into the recon category.
It actually got better. Like not even.
So
Even Recon had a big issue with it. Like even Recon, which is like, you know,
It's the weird guy.
he's into it, but he was like, yo, dude, this is too much.
So wait, Hajime no Gal is the one that's like my girlfriend is a gal, right? That's the one you're talking about?
Correct. Yeah.
I actually like that show.
See? Okay, 20 know what he's talking about.
I liked some stuff in the first few episodes. It was funny, but then as that weird fat guy became more and more like a predator, I was like, yo.
Oh no, it was so fucked up. But like, if you could somehow ignore that one guy who like just made everything so like horrible, like cringy to watch, like, it's actually decent.
It's like aside from all the characters, it's not so bad.
Well, that's one side character, bro. Like
Well,
he's probably in
The
one.
others were all that special.
Depends on the screen time for that side character too, though.
It wasn't that relevant.
Caster for Life says, I kept watching. I bet you did. I bet you did, Caster. Also, Lightning Darkness asked, did my parents watch High School DxD? No, but my brother wrote an essay for school on High School DxD, no jokes.
Yeah.
Was it a good essay or a bad essay?
Actually, I mean High School of the Dead, not High School DxD, but same shit, right? But he wrote it because
No,
it was,
not
he was
really.
comparing,
But okay.
he was comparing zombie like media that covers zombies, and then he was like he included High School of the Dead as one of the main ones, and I thought it was hilarious because it's just like, yes,
No.
That's pretty good. I like that.
But my mom actually did watch Death Note. My mom watched Death Note, and she was cool with it. She enjoyed it, and she also read the Death Note manga afterwards. So, but yeah, we don't show our parents like the good stuff.
Well, I wanted to show my father Death Note. I figured he'd enjoy it. He likes those psychological type shows. And basically the next day he says, I just watch Death Note. It was a disaster. I said, how do you watch it in a day? I don't know. It was like one movie. And I was like, oh no.
Oh my god!
Oh no.
God, that is like a skit. That is a skit.
It was terrible. Then I showed him the first 4 episodes and he was like impressed, but he couldn't go through it again.
Yeah, it's like
It's
you're like,
already
what?
been done.
You didn't like Death Note? It's like, yeah, the whole movie was pretty stupid. You're like, oh no. Oh, that's good. That's a good story right there. Rose, I wanted to ask you because you're in Korea now, but you're originally from Canada and you're coming back as well. But how is the anime scene in Korea, for example? Because I heard they're pretty intense.
It's like all right from what I noticed. They're really obsessed with One Piece here. They love it.
As
Why
they
wouldn't
should be, right, Briggs?
Attaboy.
Greg is gonna love that.
Yo,
Yeah.
yo, yo, yo.
We should really switch thoughts because
Yeah.
you know, not into the whole One Piece scene, but they really love it here. It's not actually as like I'm just missing all the anime in Korea besides One Piece, but they have like a few shops and stuff. But their manga scene is like huge, but obviously it's all in Korean, so I can't buy any of it. But con wise, I've only been to one con here, and it wasn't even like it was Comic-Con, and it wasn't actually an anime convention. So I think I've just missed out on all the anime here because there doesn't seem to be that much, and even in like anime stores, it's a lot of like the same thing, just like Haikyuu, Yuri on Ice, which is perfect for me, and One Piece.
So you haven't been in the underground anime scene. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, clearly I missed out on the invitation or
Yeah, you've been too mainstream. You didn't go like, to the dark web and be like, where's the hentai meetups? Where's the like Yu-Gi-Oh duels to the death, shit like that.
Yeah, I clearly went about this the wrong way. I'm missing all the hentai meetups. Dang it! I knew I was doing something wrong. But
Yeah, they call the Shadow Realm North Korea, and they banish you there if you lose.
Yeah, so I have Googled some stuff like anime shops and like anime conventions, but it doesn't really seem as widespread or widely available English-wise anyways. But that could just be me and my horrible research skills.
But you've also been busy like teaching people stuff, so
Yeah, it's kind of busy. I hardly have time for YouTube, so.
yeah, it's a big responsibility. But Rose does have a channel, link in the description. Everyone's channel links are in the description, including our boy Cyanide Blizzard, who just signed off. He made a video. He was like, "Fuck this, fuck all of you." No, I'm just kidding. Cyanide, thank you, Rose. Cyanide, your opinions. You've been all over the states, right? You've been all over the American states. So tell us, kind of like, do you see any differences between anime fandoms where you've been?
Yeah, it's really interesting in terms of how it's done. I grew up in a smaller state that was close to the Canadian border, and that was kind of the thing. Is it was pretty much there was a centralized group that could get their hands on certain things, but it was sort of a crowd that was more of the hardcore base, where they would import things as well too, and they were kind of they introduced us, kind of the younger group, into some of this other things, and then around the time, you know, Toonami was really starting to hit big, and so then you kind of go off that. And thankfully, there was a Suncoast in town, so you had a place to buy from. But yeah, no, it was interesting seeing that. And then I remember when I moved and I kind of changed up my major, being able to talk with people and talk on a more open scale was really different, because that was the thing, is that in high school, you know, it was on the hush hush. Unless you saw a sign or there was something there that kind of made it available, you're like, okay, I can talk about this. Otherwise, you're like, nope. It's like Fight Club, you know, don't ask, don't tell. First rule, we don't talk about it. So, but I got a chance to go to Anime Expo a few years back, and that is a blast. That is a trip. You've been to Anime North, and I mean, that's just it. Is different conventions, different, you know, they're handled differently. There's some similarities, but yeah, it's holy cow, is it a trip to go to something like that, especially when something like you're staying at a hotel that's nearby, you get on a bus that's going to take you over there, and you see different people come on the bus dressed up in cosplay, or you go there, and one of the years I went, someone had this like massive Ava cosplay. I think it was O2, and yeah, it's one of those things where it's really incredible. People are generally pretty polite as well. The thing is with anime fandoms, it's really fascinating because we as a fandom by nature tend to be more hostile sometimes of people that have opinions that clash with ours, or if anyone's trying to get it from the outside that kind of bashes against it a bit, we tend to be more defensive, and understandably so, but some cases it can go a bit too far. Like I would see that with First Impressions, where there'd be people who would just simply not get it, and that's understandable. You expect that, but just sometimes you just see that. Like a good example is, whether you like it or dislike it, the hatred that Sword Art Online gets. Sword Art Online still gets views. It's still very much talked about. They're still making games for it. A game's coming out pretty soon for it. But yet, whenever it comes up in discussion, either people talk about how much they absolutely hate it, how it's way too overrated, or that, you know, it's on the other end of the spectrum. You know, so many people hate on it. You know, you stop bashing on it. It doesn't need to be bashed on. Where this is something where people come together, and it's like all of that's left off to the side. It's a nice mutual ground of just people being able to talk with each other, you know, kind of getting to know each other. I met a lot of cool people then, and I was really surprised because I didn't actually expect that to happen.
Yeah, I was driving to Otakuthon in Montreal last year with a friend of mine, and we picked up some cosplaying hitchhikers. That was fun.
Yeah, that fun is an understatement, depending on, you know, anyhow, the costumes. But anyhow, yeah, Cyanide, definitely good point there. I might go to Anime Expo this year. I'm considering it if I can afford it. So we'll see, because LA is ridiculously expensive. Everyone who's been there knows it's a disaster. But if I would love to go there, because that's where like all the, you know, the anime community, like it's the biggest one in the world, I think, outside of Japan. So that would be great to go there. But we'll see. I'm not 100%. But definitely good points. You know, like we love anime, but usually we have a sense of humor about it, unless like you shit talk Code Geass or Gurren Lagann, then I make a fucking videos like I did for DX Fan. But anyway, so I could definitely get triggered for certain things. So like it's easy for me to say is like yeah, it's cool. You know, you should have a sense of humor about anime. But most I do. But then something like someone's like, "Yo, Kamina is actually not an intelligent character." And I'm like, "I'll fucking kill you, bro. He's the philosopher king. Read Plato, bro. Read fucking Plato, man." And to see, that's just me like arguing with myself. Imagine if someone else was actually arguing with me. So there is definitely kind of like an intensity to anime fandom and a defensiveness, I think, because a lot of people just mock anime fans, stereotype them a certain way. So then you kind of want to like push back. And sometimes we probably do it too much. But yeah, Sword Art Online is overhated. I just want to say that. Like it's not great, but it's not that bad. Stop fucking talking shit, people.
As far as fandoms go and hobbies, anime is like the most peaceful hobby of all time, and that's coming out more and more as far as all the crazy crap that gets thrown around everywhere. I mean, I don't think people hate anime fans like or get disgusted by anime fans like they used to. I think that's a thing of the past, and we're moving away from it.
Yeah, I think a lot of things are pointing to anime becoming more mainstream. Netflix investing a lot of money in anime. We talked about that last week, so I think we're definitely going to the point where anime is going to be more and more mainstream. By the way, Bob in the chat says he's following us from Belgium. Welcome. I don't know too much about the anime scene in Europe because most of the time I'm in North America, but I am curious in the chat, guys. Let me know if you have some experiences with the anime scene in Europe. Tony, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry.
No problem. No, I just wanted to ask you. So, your experiences in Florida, anime fandom, and now in Guam. I don't know. There's probably like 14 people living in your town, so I don't know if there's anime fans, but I'll ask you about it.
Good joke there. Good joke there, Animac. So the anime scene, I guess, okay, we'll start with Florida. The anime scene in Florida is pretty solid. We have conventions there a lot. I've been to a couple of them, and they've been pretty well received and exciting. It's always good to see these people come out and, just try to like be themselves for the very first time, just their favorite characters, and be with people that share the same views that they do, share the same feelings about certain animes as they do. Now, it can get a bit confrontational, especially if somebody disagrees with you or feels like, no, this character better than that character. But for the most part, most of us try to keep it simple, and it's always exciting to see. As for your own Guam, I was quite surprised that there's actually a huge following when it comes to anime or nerd culture here. That's one of the main reasons why I came back, was to kind of not facilitate, but kind of work with the community here and try to see if we could do something special. Because there's actually conventions here on Guam that they host, and I was like, hey, I'd love to be a panelist, or I'd love to come and support you guys and give you guys some like shout outs and hey, come and check this place out. In fact, I'm actually talking to the people that's head of, I think it's called EpicCon. It's happening during the summer. I'm hoping to do something with them, so that's pretty exciting. And I went to the thing and it just was, again, just like to see all these people coming out, dressing up, and just expressing themselves in their nerdy ways. I love it.
Yeah, that's very cool to hear. And like, I'm surprised. Like, for example, you think of Guam, you don't think that there would be an anime community there, but it's cool that you actually found fellow anime fans there. I'm sure there it's very close knit too, because it's a isolated part of the world in many ways. So then probably the community is more close knit.
Guam is a big tourist site, and most of our tourists come from Japan. So I don't think that it is much of a stretch to think that there'd be a huge anime fandom here on Guam. Keep in mind, I fell in love with anime here on Guam, so it's just we didn't really have any conventions on Guam until after I left, because they finally saw the potential. Like, hey, have all these Japanese people, have a lot of anime fans. Let's do something, and then they finally did something.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't know that, but thank you for enlightening me, Tony. But yeah, don't you hate it when people get triggered because someone else has a clearly superior taste in best girl, like when someone likes Emilia, and you're just so into Rem even though you're wrong. Like, I hate.
Oh, we're bringing it back.
The only time I get triggered in a discussion regarding anime is when someone decides to bring up which anime YouTuber is better than the other. That ticks me off because I know most of them, and I have strong opinions regarding most of them.
Clearly, that anime snob is the greatest anime YouTuber of all time. I mean, there's no argument there.
That's not a debate. That's fact already. That doesn't trigger anyone. Everyone knows.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gramac in the chat would agree with you there. But we have a first-time commenter from Vietnam and says that in Vietnam, there are quite a few anime fans, but they're still considered kind of geeky. And so they don't talk about it too much. And yeah, I think that's been the case in many countries, but more and more in the West, like it's becoming more mainstream. The fact that Crunchyroll is such a big company now here, the fact that Netflix is investing in anime, it's like it's becoming more and more mainstream. It's slow, and there's a lot of people who don't necessarily like anime, but they do like some anime like Naruto or Dragon Ball Super because they're so big. But then a lot of those people do end up transitioning into the rest of anime, and it ends up being a cool thing. Briggs, let's hear from you a bit, your experience with anime, but I'm going to have to go to the washroom. So, take it away, guys. I'll be right back.
I didn't even know that. Jesus. Now I can never get back to work.
What time is it where you are?
You're forever on break.
I don't know. I don't know really how to describe Toronto. Like I can only say my my opinion of Italy is pretty like small. I haven't been there in 10 years, and like when I went there, my cousins didn't even know like what Dragon Ball Z was. And I feel like if you're in your 20s, like in like even like Toronto, like everyone at least knows what Dragon Ball Z is. But like it's been 10 years. I'm sure everything's changed in Italy.
Well, that's actually a really great point to bring up there, because I've had a few Italian friends over the years, and the few I've talked to, it sounds like there is a culture there that is built up. It's just a matter of, I suppose, finding out. And like you said, it's been 10 years since you were last there, too. Yeah. So, it's a lot of things can change. And Nux, you brought up a really great point as well. It's kind of like how video games were in the late 80s, early 90s, where it was geek dork culture, and you got like a massive portion of a demographic being portrayed on a global scale, like television, as these dorky, nerdy people. You use a computer, you have tape across your glasses, you have trouble talking to women, you use an inhaler. Oh, you talk about like that. So
okay, but that part's accurate. I mean,
it's this terrible stereotype that's developed, and over the years we've seen that gradually melt away into more mainstream, to where we're even hearing about, like, we've got a Russian figure skater that had like a Sailor Moon, routine that she did, and we have her talking about that, her fandom of anime. We're seeing actors talk about their enjoyment of anime. We're
rappers,
seeing
a lot of rappers now.
Rappers, yeah. Yes, exactly. I mean, that's it. We're seeing more people come out because we're starting to see, especially as time's gone on, a generation that grew up with that. Now they're ending up in positions to where they're in larger areas and they can talk about those type of things, which then further mainstreams that concept. So it may not be in the same aspect that video games were in terms of becoming more mainstream and more casual, but it's definitely getting there, and it's really exciting to see.
Yeah, you really can't compare 10 years. Like the amount of change over a small period of time is insane. Like no matter where you are in the world, like the entire industry has grown. Yeah,
and I've been really into anime since about 2010. So it's about 8 years.
Filthy casual.
And I mean, I grew up watching like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, but I mean like really into like other than the mainstream anime. And I feel like personally, I was never one of those people that was like insecure about liking anime. I was just like, yeah, I like anime, so what? But I know that definitely it's become more and more mainstream. Still, I meet people where I'm like, oh, I have an anime YouTube channel. They're like, oh, what's that? But much more rarely do I now have to explain what anime is, especially to younger generations. So it is really cool. By the way, Ahmed says that he is from the Middle East in Kuwait, and that there's a huge anime community there, which is cool too. That's something I wouldn't necessarily have known. But I know Gramac is from the Middle East as well, so there is an anime community in the Middle East too. I know Future Boy Conan was apparently huge in Arab-speaking countries, which is an anime from the 70s, but apparently it was huge back there, even decades ago.
Yeah.
Cool. Gilgamesh says that Japanese subculture has always been mainstream in Mexico since like the 1960s. Yeah, see, that's really interesting. Because I see a ton of like anime fans from Mexico, Central America, and South America, the Latin-speaking countries, because I know that there's even like YouTube channels on like Dragon Ball Super and stuff like that that are just in Spanish that are very successful, hundreds of thousands of subs, right? So that means that there's clearly a Latin audience for anime, and I've met a lot of Latin anime fans.
The passion is intense from that fan base. I mean, even like to series of rare, obscure series from like the 70s or 80s that are subtitled specifically for those languages. It never ceases to amaze me when I talk to someone from that region just how passionate and vibrant the fandom, the culture is there. And just when you see it carry over into other aspects such as art, digital art, or video games, it's astonishing.
Knox,
Yo.
your thoughts as a guy, because you're the only one here from Quebec, and also you've also seen the New York kind of scene. So let us know your experiences with the anime community.
I think it's growing all over the world, and the countries and cities that are more open and have more people generally get it faster. I just see it growing. That's it.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's really cool to see, and obviously good for us as anime YouTubers, right? Like we want a bigger audience, so that's always a good thing. And I think the reason we can be confident that anime is going to continue to grow because there's such good quality anime out there. Like any medium, there's also shitty anime out there. Probably too much shitty anime these days, but there's such great anime out there that you just know that someone who gives it a chance is going to end up enjoying it. So we can be confident that as more press is given to anime as a whole, the fandom is going to continue to grow. By the way, the girl otaku is wondering about male versus female anime fan experiences. So Rose, do you find as a girl any unique challenges or interesting things about being an anime fan as opposed to your guy colleagues?
Rose.
So my brain is still like at
Too early,
50% right now. It's so early right now.
That's your excuse this time? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm going with that this time. I feel like I haven't had any challenge. I know a lot. Well, I mean, more so in the gaming community, but I feel like a lot of girls get a bad rep for just liking gaming, just to be like a gamer girl kind of thing, or they like anime to be like an anime girl. But I myself have not really experienced that much. Or, I mean, some people think because you're a girl, you have a less valid opinion on things and will use some negative slurs against women just because they're girls. And they're like, what do you know? You're a girl. You don't know what Dragon Ball is about.
Animac, I know what you're thinking. Don't say it.
No, because I think that's interesting because there are a lot of anime fans who are girls. However, I feel like overall the majority is still guys, like a significant majority.
I think
So
that just because Shonen's so popular. Sorry to cut you off.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I was gonna say that's probably just because Shonen's so popular, like of a genre, and it's like kind of geared towards guys. Like girls could absolutely still enjoy it, but like their target graphic is mainly males.
Yeah. So I do think that while there's definitely a significant amount of girls who like anime, I think guys are still in the big majority. So I think there is this kind of like surprise effect when someone's like, "Oh, a girl and she likes anime," or like when guys see girls at anime conventions, they're like, "Oh my god, you're so hot." God,
I've never seen a girl before.
So at Anime Expo,
I don't get girls coming up to me like, "You're so hot."
dig this Animac. Anime Expo, there was some girl, obviously there's a lot of female cosplay, but there was some girl that came in and she was wearing a white bikini. Don't know what the context was for, don't know why, and there was a guy with her, and I mean, he was giving everyone the death glare, and I don't know if that was her boyfriend or what, but it was like...
Was it Mother's Basement?
It was not.
Fuck off,
It was
fuck
not.
off.
I made sure it was not Jeff. So...
Oh god, no.
But anyway, it was the most amusing thing to see, though.
Yeah, that is like okay. That's an extreme where like if a girl is dressed really revealingly, then obviously she's gonna get a lot of attention. So in that sense, like what was that guy expecting? Like what the fuck? You what, Tony?
That's basically like most anime girl characters. Most of them are dressed quite revealingly.
Which I found to be quite funny, is if it was like sort of a play on that. But no, it's a really good example is that there's a friend of mine, and she was watching a show with some other guys. She was watching a show where there's a little bit of a risque scene that happens, and nobody gave her a heads up. And that's kind of one of the things that it's a bit tough to run into, and that is, I'm kind of getting to a bit of maybe a little bit too deep here, but is the way that guys sometimes have a bad tendency to either downplay or even outright sexually harass other girls, whether it be intentionally or unintentionally. And, obviously there's a fascination with it, but sometimes, conduct and behavior can result in a very poor treatment. And that's something that I've noticed. It's not as bad as it used to be. But like I said, like that situation I was telling you about, like that actually is happening recently. And I actually had to warn a friend about that for the show that she was watching. She had no clue, and they were talking about it a little bit, but they really weren't letting her on it. And I was like,
be careful. The basketball is going to go flat and run out of air, and they're going to use the girl's tits. Be careful.
Be careful.
You have to warn them for things like that.
Yeah, I feel like because as anime fans, we're so used to like stuff like fan service. If you see a cosplayer that's very like revealingly dressed at an anime con, you wouldn't even think twice. You'd be like, oh, nice. And, like you wouldn't be like, whoa, what is she wearing? Whereas, like, if you dress revealingly in, like, another context, so, like, not at an anime convention, but at a different type of convention or just, like, outside of fandom in general, I feel like you'll get much more judgmental kind of looks because they're not as desanitized to it as we are, I guess.
I have to say, cosplay altogether, I could see why people think it's major cringe. Like,
well, sorry. Bring up a good point. You were trying to say that your friends were watching something and they didn't want a girl about a certain scene that was coming up. That's what you were trying to say?
Well, there was a scene that was coming up that they were specifically watching that show for that scene to see how she would react.
Oh, so they had like an ulterior motive behind it.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
No, you could tell us which show and which scene. One of us probably knows it.
Fate Alias Season 2.
Okay.
I don't think you need to necessarily warn the girl about a particular scene. But if you just like some type of intent behind it, yeah, I think there's a bit of it. But I mean, let's say, for example, Rose and I, we watch, Fate Apocrypha. You get them a Millennium for Life. But I feel like that's the type of like relationship we should have with like anime girl fans. You just treat them like you would treat any other fan of anime. They are just like us. They enjoy stuff. No, I watched this anime. What's it called? Like the most over-the-top shit I've ever seen. Well, not the most over-the-top. Naked will never be replaced. But I was watching it with a girl, and we were basically just laughing at its ludicrousness. And so that's what I really.
Okay, I think I got some of what you said, Tony. The connection is pretty bad, but I think I got...
All I heard was ludicrous.
Sorry, I'm at my job, so maybe the internet goes in and out sometimes.
Yeah, it goes like in and out, yeah. But no, yeah, I think the thing is, with like female anime fans, like in general, when you meet a fellow anime fan, you're like happy about it, right? So... Yeah. But the thing is, obviously, if you're a guy and you're into girls and you meet a attractive girl, she's like, you're an anime fan. It's like, oh, cool. Not only are you a fellow anime fan, maybe I could date you. Like, obviously, you get that.
Of the opposite sex.
You obviously get that kind of feeling. So, in that sense, girls might get more attention when guys get all thirsty and they're like, oh, shit.
Well, you also
got shares my interest. My mom said no girl would ever share my interest. So, there is some of that type of attention. But in the general sense, I think it's just always good to meet a fellow anime fan.
And see, that's so important, is to have that mutuality, like what Tony said. It's important to be as equals, to be respectful, and to kind of avoid that. And that kind of becomes the tough part. Like, that was the problem in the video game scene for a while, where you'd get female gamers, and they gain a massive popularity. And then, of course, as Rose talked about, there's that stigma of, well, you're not actually, quote unquote, girl gamer. Yeah, you're not actually a gamer fan. And then they test you, and it's just, you just look at it, it's ridiculous. Like I've talked to some friends about that where like there have been people who've openly stated you're only playing this game to get items from other people. You know, you're doing this to basically be a whore, a slut. And they were just playing the game. They weren't even saying anything. And they just had people would say that. It's not as bad. That was about like 12 years ago, but it's just that's to some of the extent the extreme of which it's done. And that's difficult. Yeah, of course, you know, if there is a more male-oriented and if they don't necessarily happen to interact with the opposite sex as often, are they going to be more drawn into someone who's warm and inviting that is of the opposite sex? Yeah, that's a possibility. Absolutely. But I mean, that shouldn't necessarily mean that we should treat them any differently. We should still treat them with respect, the same way that we would want to be treated as people.
Yeah.
When Casey Neistat was interviewing Mr. CFO of YouTube, the guy said basically, we need more female creators. And women in general, I think, are a little bit stereotyped in the tech game altogether, as far as video games and anime and everything. I don't know. I don't know if it's a stereotype or if they don't like it the same way.
Push an agenda like that, though. If you want,
I don't think so. If YouTube tweeted, subscribe to black creators. What's that supposed to mean?
I made a video about that. And that's not how you inclusion. They need to come willingly. It needs to happen organically. Not, hey, we need more of this because quota, you know. And I agree. I think that also applies to the anime community. It just needs to be more inclusive in the sense that people feel like it's inviting.
Yeah, 100%. Like I agree with you completely too. I think it's like we should not be pressuring people into, you know, subscribing, you know, just because of a certain thing, or even like, you know, when people are saying it's like we need more women in tech jobs. It's like, okay, but what if not that many women want to be in these specific jobs? Like, are we going to force them to be because we want it to be 50-50? Of course not. Everyone should be able to do what they want to do. Just as like we need more men in teaching jobs or something. Like, hey, you know, most teaching jobs are filled by women. If men want to be a part of it, that's great, but we shouldn't pressure or have a quota for how many, you know, people of a certain gender we have in a certain job. We should, you know, people should do what they want to do, have the information, have the, you know, opportunities, but they should do what they want to do. And I agree with that 100% in terms of gaming or in terms of anime, whatever. People should, if they're into it, great, but we shouldn't be like, we need more women here. You know, we have to have a agenda here where we have Rant Cafe panel has to be 3 men and 3 women, or else no Rant Cafe. No sausage fests here, guys. By the way, Kaiser Trigger says, congrats on 100K. Thank you, sir. I know you've been here a long time.
Hey, Kaiser.
Envy says, Nux is black.
Well, I guess in a way.
In no way is he black, but whatever.
Okay, fine. I was keeping my identity a secret. Now they all know.
Yeah, they all know you're not black. Now we've narrowed it down, man. We've narrowed it down. Yeah, now people are saying Animac is black. Yeah.
Black Boris.
Black Boris.
Yeah.
Nux, have you ever like revealed your identity at all?
Yes, I have. Feel free to come to Otakuthon. I shake hands very nicely.
Oh yeah, but not on your channel, but you reveal it like at Otakuthon and to me.
So we'll
Otakuthon and to you.
North, right?
I don't know if I'll be in Toronto then.
No,
unlikely.
You should. I feel like I should bring up something so that Cyanide can give us his knowledge, because he's a knowledgeable guy.
Knowledge.
You
wanted to bring up elitists?
No. I mean,
hey,
he could.
Cody, welcome back.
But yeah, there's definitely, within the anime fandom, there's people who are just like, yo, bro, everything that's mainstream sucks. Everything that's modern sucks. Like anime snob. Like he says it like it's a meme, right? Like, but he's like, retro beats modern every time. And I think that's just generally not true. I mean, there's a lot of great retro stuff and a lot of shitty modern stuff, 100%. But there is no reason why you would say retro will always beat modern. There's no objective reason for that. And there's good modern shows and there's crappy retro shows too. We don't watch them because when you go to my anime list and you see like shows from the 90s that are ranked like a 4, you're not gonna watch them. But that doesn't mean that they didn't exist. Am I right here?
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree with you completely. And just because something was older and makes you feel cool to like it, that doesn't make it better.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I got some bad news. I have to leave you guys now.
Well, that's great because we can hear you now, so you can say
Yeah.
proper farewell.
Oh wow, it's great. Wow, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good.
Tony, I'm gonna try to get on without you, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Tony, thank you for
no
joining
worries.
us, man. Pleasure to hear your voice again.
No, I really enjoyed this. I hope that maybe in the future we can do this again, you know, whether it be on this channel or anyone else's channel. I miss you guys. And Rose, never talk to me again. Just want you to let you know.
Oh.
That's the plan.
We'll be in touch, Tony. Thank you again.
Thank you guys. Take care.
Be- says really philosophical and deep, but then I can also enjoy an anime for just being a comedy or just being an action anime. I don't have to only like one or the other. And I think we often have people comparing like, oh, this slice of life anime is being compared to, you know, like some mecha anime. It's like, well, Gundam is better than this slice of life anime because nothing happens in this slice of life anime. But it's completely different genres. Like you can't compare romance comedy to, you know, Psycho Pass or something like that. Cowboy Bebop. It just doesn't work. They're good in different ways. They work in different ways, appeal to different parts of you, and you can enjoy all of them without, you know, having to decide it's either this or that. So I think people are often too narrow-minded, I guess you could say, in terms of when they're being elitist, when they're like only this type of anime is good and all the other ones are bad. I don't know if you guys are with me.
I think
I'm with you,
I'm
man.
starting to sound a little bit like an elitist, and like I completely agree with you in regards to like there being good and bad anime in every like era. But one thing that's like I feel like I've been like kind of speaking out towards, or like one thing that really like annoys me is people who just aren't willing to give older anime a chance. Like for example, Recon, he watches everything that's new, and I think there's absolutely good new anime. It's just like you got to understand there's great anime for the last like 2 decades type of thing. And it really like, how can you not think
that
about
really
that?
doesn't sound elitist at all. You're basically saying that there were good anime even though they were 10 years old. That's not.
Yeah, not at all. But I feel like I've been like trying to like get Recon to watch new things, and like, not even elitist. I don't want to come off as being elitist by being like praising older anime. I'm only really doing it to like get them popular again, or give people to give these older shows a chance if they've never heard of it.
Look, I personally believe enjoyment is the most important part of watching anime. And I know other people say, well, it has to be like philosophical fan service. That's what needs to happen for it to be good. But, you know, honestly, I love One Piece and I love Evangelion and I love a lot of anime that are very different than each other. And just because it's shonen, that doesn't mean it's in the trash genre.
Absolutely.
Which is sort of how it's looked at by an unfortunate amount of people,
Even though I
especially
am,
some
but-
anime YouTubers, which we will not name here.
What did you say about Digibro?
That was the other alternate thumbnail to this video is Digibro.
Oh, yeah. You said you're not gonna name Digibro. Okay, cool. Sorry, but no, I agree 100%. Like there is anime out there that is older that is really good, even from the 70s. Like Rose of Versailles, for example, I really enjoyed. Galaxy Express 39, like, and yeah, animation is not always up to par because it is a much different time technologically. But you should still be able to appreciate that. They were working with different conditions back then. It was very different, and they still created this work. And there's a lot to it, and you can still appreciate it. not saying that, of course we should appreciate the beautiful animation that we see sometimes in modern anime, but that should not be the be all and end all. Like if it's not, the high budget CG or whatever, CGI or whatever, I'm not watching it. And I think that's definitely a terrible approach, because some of the best stories have been told in older anime. Same thing with like older books. Like some people don't like old books,
I
they
love
only like
Ganku
modern current bestsellers.
For me is a great example. The Count of Monte Cristo, the anime, because the art style is like nothing we've seen, and the animation is like nothing we've seen, and the strange use of textures and gradients as with a solid background, with only the characters as the moving parts and the different clothes. It's beautiful. I love it, and I love the story, and I love the characters, and it's old, and it's different, and it's philosophical, and it's not shonen-y. But I still love shonens that are good ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's a visually stunning show. It's actually really interesting then comparing that to what Gonzo did later on with Romeo x Juliet in terms of how they chose to approach them as well, just especially, visually and then story-wise as well, So it's very fascinating when you look at that and you compare. No, you're going to have it's fascinating when you look at people like Snob. Snob amuses me because he goes up to 11 and he's it's hard to tell where the line begins and ends because certain things with him blur. Because I've talked with him personally. I mean, we have before Animac, and it's like you see some things, and it's kind of like, that's how he feels. But at the same time, it's like, where is he just poking the bear? Where is he riling things up? Where is he going from there? And it's really amusing to listen to him. And I think it's kind of the same thing in terms of fandom. Briggs, you bring up a great point. There's a lot of wonderful older shows to watch. There's a plethora of library of work, whether you look at it from an animation level, a Sakuga level, or if you look at it from a narrative level, looking at where the industry has evolved, or just simply shows that you should check out, like shows like Macross or Gundam that formed a foundation that were built upon for decades to come. There's so many things out there, but there's just, I know some people as well who are of that same mindset where they won't watch something after a certain year. They won't play a game after a certain year. And it's a shame. And that's kind of one of the things is, I guess at the same time, it's that freedom to be able to make that choice. It sucks. Obviously we can't force people to do what they don't want to do. People are going to do their own thing. They should be free to do that as well. But, at the same time, it also kind of depends on how they respond to that as well and how that's handled. It's a very interesting aspect when you involve taste, preferences, and openness. When I first started watching anime, I would sit down and I would really watch it because I was introduced by a friend who's like, hey, you got to check out the show. It's called Dragon Ball Z. And I watched the episode where Goku got his body taken over by Captain Ginyu. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? This is violent. This is great. It felt more like an adult cartoon. And I loved watching cartoons as a kid. And it was one of the things where I would take more seriously. And I remember a time when I went up to a friend's place and we were going to watch Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors OVA. And the OVA is pretty blah. It's not good, but I was really excited because I love the game. So I'm like, yes, I'm there. And Maze Mouse, my first co-host on First Impressions, and another friend were there too. They were watching, and they were just taking the piss out of it. And I was just getting upset to where I turned around and I chewed them out. I'm like, hey, come on, I'm trying to watch this. Stop it, you guys. And I remember chewing them out for that. And they're like, oh, we're just kind of having fun. We don't mean any harm. And I felt really bad about it afterwards because I'm like, I'm pissing on their parade by this. I don't think watching something seriously is bad, but they're just having fun. They were just trying to have fun as a group. And that's what I tried to do when I did my own thing, was just to sit down and have fun. And, I think you can be serious. You can have fun. Obviously, it's about being able to be open to those different approaches as well. And that's kind of a tough part, especially, when you see some people and they'll talk about something, and I'll see that in sometimes comment sections where people are like, well, I'm not interested in what you have to say because you're trying to change my opinion. You shouldn't look at it as someone trying to change your opinion, rather that somebody's just simply offering a different perspective that, well, I never thought of that, or I didn't consider looking at it like that before. That's really interesting, Or you could just be like, I don't agree with them at all. They're full of shit, whatever. But it's just, being able to take something in and kind of go from there.
Exactly. And like YouTube comments are never a good way to judge anything because people will criticize you in YouTube comments for the stupidest shit. Great example, guys. I had a comment on a Dragon Ball Super video recently, and the video was talking about every Saiyan transformation. and the video was made almost 5 months ago. And some guy was like, "This is the worst video ever. You didn't include Vegeta Royal Blue. Go kill yourself, idiot." And I'm like, you realize that this was made months before Vegeta Royal Blue, which is not even an official name, was introduced. And I can't tell the future. You can see the date of the video published. He's like, "That's not an excuse, bro. Delete your account, bro." Like,
That's amazing.
So first of all, you kind of deserve
reason
that for answering him. I don't know what you were really answering. I've gotten so many, like I made a video, top 10 overpowered characters of 2016. I got so many questions. Where's Alucard from Helsing? He's like the most overpowered character ever. Go kill yourself. Delete your channel. Die in a fire. Like, you know.
Exactly. So the point being, you can't rationally, like, sometimes I try to rationalize with people, and sometimes they back off and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I fucked up." But a lot of the times they're just complete lunatics, or just they're not crazy themselves, but they're just like, I feel like, venting steam on a random YouTube video. So you can't really reason with people like that. But I think that really there is a lot of charm to looking at like older anime and older games too. Like I was actually looking at some of the older arcade games from like the 90s, like Metal Slug and stuff like that. And I'm considering like Street Fighter, the game, the one where you're just like actually walking in levels and beating people up rather than just one-on-one. I'm actually thinking of doing some of that on Twitch, like playing those like old arcade games, because I feel like there's like a cool charm to it. You don't have to overthink it too much. You can chat with people at the same time while you're doing it. It's just like a fun time. So I think there's a lot to appreciate in retro, but then you also shouldn't be like everything new is automatically bad, because there is a lot of bad, but there is a lot of good too. And before there was a lot of bad stuff as well. But I think Anime Snob, he likes to meme it up. Like he likes to be over the top. That's his thing. I don't even think necessarily he agrees with everything he says. But yeah. Rose, I wanted to ask you, have you had any experience with like elitist anime fans, and like either your friends or people you know? Because you like Dragon Ball, for example, like I do, and then you have people like Nox talking shit because they think Dragon Ball sucks.
Rose, what was that recent tweet you got? Because you posted something on Twitter. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, the comments on my video?
Yes.
Oh my god, what was it? Wait, don't worry. I have a screenshot of it because I like to keep the things that make me laugh. Oh, no, it was just, I love all, because I did the 7 Deadly Sins video that I just did, and one of my things is I love all the characters. And then he put in quotes, "I love all the characters. Real, you're effing retarded." And I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know my opinion was wrong, because it's my own opinion. But that's cool.
So many of us did not watch the video.
Earlier today, I did an honest descriptions on all the new anime of winter 2018, which by the title you could tell I'm going to be making fun of every anime of 2018, and I even put like a little rank on the bottom with my actual opinion, like this is a pretty good show. You should probably check it out. It's pretty funny, but I would actually make fun of it, and I got comments saying, "No one watched this video. I started, he craps all over everything, and he makes fun of it. His opinion is worthless. His 12-year-old kid thinks he's edgy, and kill yourself."
It's true that Nux thinks he's edgy, but he's not 12.
Right. That's what we take away from this.
Yes.
But I've gotten way too many comments. Like I made a video saying 5 issues with My Hero Academia that makes it not perfect. I've gotten so many comments saying, I saw it, the video, so I clicked on it, disliked, and I'm not even going to watch it because you're just here to spread hate and die.
Yeah, because, things are perfect. Like, it's fucking perfect, man. Like, no, I know. Like it's, there is such a thing as trying to be too positive. Like, you don't have to like everything. You can like,
see,
you can like
that's
a series.
the issue with some YouTubers, also, not going to mention, but they like everything, and it's clearly fake, and it got them a lot of popularity. I'm talking about one guy specifically, and
I know who you're talking about. I'm not gonna name it, but the point is that yeah, like you don't have to like everything. You can like a series, but be like, I didn't like this one arc, or I didn't like this one part, like you do with Naruto. You do that all the time. You like Naruto, but you have issues with it. Or you can be like, yo, I don't like the series. Like for me with Tokyo Ghoul, I know Tokyo Ghoul has a lot of fans, but I'm like, listen, it wasn't for me. I didn't like the anime. People say the manga is better. I understand. Like, so you don't have to like everything as long as you're cool about it. You're not like, everyone who likes Tokyo Ghoul is an idiot. Like, obviously, I'm not going to say that. But to think that an anime is perfect or a manga is perfect or anything is perfect would be crazy.
Except for One
But,
Piece. Right?
Rose, so like, I like a lot of characters in some of their. Would you say like you like Twigo? Like you're a big fan of Twigo?
Twigo is best
Oh, wait,
girl,
who's that?
hands
Oh, no.
down. The
See,
end.
I'm obviously I don't love every character. I was just being
I know, I'm just
dramatic. I love every single character actually. All the side characters too. Every single one. I love all of them. Didn't you know? All the characters are MVPs, especially Hawk. Really.
No, but Random Human 14
Yeah.
in the
Episode 12.
in episode like 3 or whatever when they go to the mine festival, like he's my favorite.
I love Random Human 14.
Yes.
Yeah, like he's
Best
got like a axe on his like head, like on his shoulder. He was like cutting.
Actually,
wood.
it was on his right shoulder, Animac. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You're right. I
remember the facts.
I just love.
but I was actually thinking of making a character analysis, like a 10-20 minute character analysis on Twigo and why he's the greatest character known to mankind.
That would be a cool comedy video. Yes.
Comedy video. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Also, so we had Gabriel in the chat. It's like, holy crap, who is Simply? She's beautiful. See, I don't get those comments.
No, you get them. You just don't see them.
You have
Not
to
everyone
shave,
uses
man.
Rose, though.
No, I don't want those comments, man. If you don't like my beard, then you don't like me.
You'll be getting them soon. Look at that hair. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just wanted an awkward silence at that point.
You got it. You got that.
Okay, so now Real One is going all out. Okay. All right. Beautiful will do. But anything else we need to talk about before we call it a night, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, so I wanted to actually give a little speech about Twigo at the end. You don't mind?
Yeah, fuck off. Just make the video already.
No. We'll do it here. I don't think I could get an actual 10 minutes and 2 seconds out of it. I think I can only get to about 8.5 minutes. And I don't believe in stretching videos to the 10-minute mark. So it's not worth making and might as well do it.
Q&A afterwards.
You could just like hum at the end, like doo, 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 doo.
Apparently you didn't see my last video. Anyway, so you see, Twigo is a brilliant character because his awesomeness and his epic attacks were clearly passed down the Armstrong lines for generations. Which is half the reasoning behind why he is such an integral part to the story. You may not realize this, but he also appeared 2 other places in the anime aside from in episode 1. You know the guy, the gravity guy with those 2 thingos that I call Pillbug guy? You don't know who I'm talking about? Gravity
guy?
power guy?
With
the
the
shaky dude?
maracas. The maracas.
Yes, that guy.
Okay.
Fujitora.
That is actually Twigo in disguise, hinting again to his awesomeness. You're gonna see, by the way, at the end of the anime, when all the 10 commandments are revived for the 14th time for the final battle, Twigo's gonna take them all down single-handed. That's my prediction. I have 16 reasonings behind it, and yeah, I'll make a video.
I can't wait. I want to see a theory video that says that Twigo is the Demon King in disguise.
Twigo's not the Demon King. Twigo's the protagonist.
All right. By the way, shout out to Mackelnut in the chat, and also Shura.
Mackelnut!
He loves me and my philosophy. So thank you. Again, that's not a physical compliment, but I guess I'll take it. I'll take the philosophy compliment.
So apparently a meme was born in this Rant Cafe. The entire chat was asking if I'm a black, Asian, whatever.
Yes.
But no, I'm not Chibi Reviews on Boo. Nope, that's not me. And I'm not
Alter
PewDiePie.
ego. Chibi reviews alter ego.
I'm actually Lord Twigo. If I would be starting a YouTube channel right now, though, that's what I would call it. Nux Twigo.
Nux Twigo. Beautiful stuff. Well, okay, thank you, fellow anime fans. Before we sign out, please feel free to let us know who you are and what you do. And by the way, if you want to go to Discord, link in the description. I'm going to be there in a little bit, just kind of voice chatting and chilling. But let's start with you, Simply Rose.
Hey, I'm Simply Rose. I do anime videos sometimes. which is like never. But I'm coming back to Canada soon, so I'll have more videos and more cosplay stuff. So
Cool. Looking forward to it, and also looking forward to Anime North. You got your ticket, right?
yes, I'm so excited. Anime North, Rant Cafe reunion, and Tony's totally coming. So
it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna do some cool stuff. And Nakstaku is invited. If he doesn't show up, he's a bitch because he wants me to go. He wants me to go to Montreal to see him, but he doesn't want to come here.
You're invited to Montreal. I will welcome you with open arms.
I'll try to come. That's in August. The Otaku-thon is in August, so we'll see. Hopefully, yes. Cyanide Blizzard.
Hopefully, I'll have my Twigo cosplay ready by then.
That will be great.
Better be or else. Yo, I'm Bryn Fandoms. I do these great videos that are these painting review videos. You really gotta check them out because they're great.
Yeah, Bryn's great, but she like has a life unlike the rest of us.
I know. It's not the same without Bryn. No, I hope she's doing well. I used to do First Impressions, which was sort of a cross between Mystery Science Theater 3000 with a little bit of Siskel and Ebert-esque action at the end. Still got my videos up. I'm hoping to come back here. I've got a video that's already in the pipeline that I did for a friend for part of his collaboration. Hopefully that'll be out soon. It was supposed to be out, but it's been delayed. So at some point I'll be able to put that video out and then put it up on my channel. And it's going to be a very fascinating video where I try something a bit new. And this new thing is not ASMR.
We've tried that already.
Yes.
It was glorious. But yeah, looking forward to that, Sinai. By the way, message me and let me know about that Konosuba game you guys translated. How do you get that and what's going on with that? Like, I just remember that and that was cool. So let me know.
Well, I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, thank you. We also have All Day Anime Briggs.
Yo. Honestly, I'm going to try to come to more Rant Cafes, and I absolutely cannot wait for Anime North. But I guess who I am. I talk a lot about the 7 Deadly Sins lately, and I have a cool video on Pokemon coming out tomorrow, trying to change it up a little bit.
Hype.
Hype,
Nice.
hype.
Nice. I hope it's not the same video that I'm fucking planning.
It's not. Don't worry.
Okay.
Notice.
Fuck, okay. No, because me and Nux have like Pokemon video that we've been planning like to do one each and kind of like as a team.
Believe it or not, I actually started on the script, and I am about 320 first, however the hell you say it, 3 out of 21 way through.
Okay, good. Yeah, I got to get started on that as well. But yeah, okay, cool, Briggs. Cool. Sounds good.
But when is Anime North, by the way?
End of May, so like May 25th to 27th, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Too
cool,
damn
gonna see-
far.
Briggs lives
Through
close to
Toronto. I hate the airport there also.
For
Pearson
sure.
sucks. They put carpets in the airport. You're dragging your luggage on carpets.
Okay, take the train. Take the
I live
fucking
like
train.
15 minutes away from Anime North. It's great.
Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. Like I want to, like I said everyone in the chat, everyone who's gonna be in Anime North, we're gonna have the big flag, the big Gurren Lagann flag. Look for that. Meet us. We want to be like 30 deep. Like we want to be rolling like 30 people constantly, just like moving as a group. Like okay, we gotta see. We want to see. Check out that stand. Shove everyone else out of the way because we're gonna be.
And remember the chant. You guys have to go uproar, uproar.
Yes. No. Yeah. We're gonna be a gang cult over there.
Shin Paku.
We're doing it all. So it's gonna be great. And last but not least, Nakstaku, you can say what you do and who you are and why you're going to Anime North.
Hello, I am probably not going to Anime North. I do analysis and parody content. Recently, a little more shonen based because people are crapping on shonen a little too much for my taste. So I'm going to have to descend my awesomeness upon the shonen scene. I am also an avid Twigo fan, and that's more or less it.
Yes. Thank you, Nox. Everyone's link should be in the description, provided that I accurately posted it. My phone is ringing, so it's a good time to sign off. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us today. As always, leave a like if you enjoy Rant Café. Phone. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
Bang! I literally put my